Are you a lover? Are you a Valentino? Are you a Casanova? Can you fight the power? Can the power fight you? Are you a lover? Are you a Casanova? Are you a Casasnova? Hey man, peace be with you. Look me. I got some Century instruments behind me, some beautiful instruments crafted a long, long time ago, some of my favorites, right? Now, I used to call Century instruments anything made before the 1800s. Now, a Century instrument's anything over 100 years old. That's the way it goes, man. Time keeps on ticking in the future, man. Right? Into the future. So, I always have $300-400 in the cut in case I see something nice on eBay. And I'm always like, searching on eBay all every day and night. Antique instrument, parlor guitar, antique parlor, old instrument, broken instrument, old lattice instrument, blah, blah. Usually, you know what I mean? It's just like, like hours and hours. Like, all right, stop. You must eat. You must go to bed. You must go to work. You know what I mean? Stop this, I'll stop myself from doing it. Sometimes I find a hit and I get excited about it. I saw Francisco Casasnovas. I think it's 1891, maybe 1896. I was like, ooh, flamenco guitar. Wow, with the pegs. Oh, it's like crazy. $447, buy it now. Make an offer, too. It's a make an offer. Now, I would pay $447 for this guitar. But anyway, I was like, a little bit cheap these days, man. Send them an offer, $400, you broken-ass guitar. Now, the thing, it's all original. It's all there. The only thing that's missing, I think, is the nut. And possibly the original tuning pegs. But it's all there. The finish is even there. And that's hard to find an old guitar. It still has a good finish on it. It's cracked up. I like them that way, right? So I sent him the offer, $400. I think he has like 24 hours to respond or 48 hours to respond. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, come on, man. Come on, accept that offer, man. And day passed, you know what I mean? The next day passed, and like 47 hours and 52 minutes and 33 seconds he sent, like, okay, deal done. Accept, $400. I said, ooh, pay you that motherfucker and send it out. Waiting for it right now. We're waiting for it. You and me. I came down here. I'm going to tell you a little bit what I know about Francisco Casasnovas. The island of Majorca belongs to Spain. It's like the big island right before you leave the Mediterranean when you're cruising around the Mediterranean, all your Mediterranean commerce. And this was the island that like all the boats that are passing throughout, you know what I mean, the Mediterranean Channel, visit right before they're fucking out of Europe when they're going down to the New World. So a lot of Spanish vessels, they get all their stuff and they service all the Spanish ports. This guy Casanovas, born like 1816, something like that, right in Palma de Majorca, right there, by the beach, man. And he was mentored. There's all kinds of history of instrument makers from there. The Casanova family is really big in Majorca, especially in the Palma area. You know what I mean? To this day, they're lawyers. Well, they're like, you know what I mean? They own like a saloon and they're a musician. And that tradition goes way, way back to, like, you know what I mean? Middle Ages, right? So this guy, he trained to be he loved instruments, but he didn't want to become a drunk musician. So he trained to be a guitar instrument maker, you know what I mean? He was making all these guitars. Now, what was popular in like the Spanish, like sort of territories of the time weren't necessarily the 6-string guitars that were popular in Europe, in the mid 1800s. They were like the 10-string guitars that were like 5, 2-course guitars. The oldest guitar in the world is actually in Ecuador. It's one of those 10-stringers, you know what I'm saying? It's all eaten by termites. It's not playable. But they love them, especially in Cuba. He was exporting a lot of shit to Cuba. That was his thing for many years. Then he had his 2 little sons, Bartholomew and Miguel. We're called Bartholomew Bart from hereafter. And that's because, Bartholomew sounds a little weird, right? So he's training him. He's like, you must never learn to play the guitar. Just the tune of it. Right, so he didn't want him to ever play it, but learned how to tune it, how to build it. Whatever, man. So he kept on making guitars, and he had little sons in there making guitars in Majorca. For export, really, is what his big deal was. And then he croaked in 1876, man, he dies. So Miguel and Bart take over his shop, and they start making, like, different innovations, different things. They focus on the 6-string now. And they actually brought a guitar to Barcelona, I believe in 1886, which had a detachable neck. You could put it right in like a little tiny steamer trunk, and you could bring it all around the world with you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't need like a case, coffin case. Anyway, you put it in like a backpack. It was like truly innovative at the time and won an award. Didn't catch on though. Sorry, Miguel and Bart. You know what I'm saying? And then Ignacio Casasnovas, that's their sister. He was, the grandson. I believe he, started working in the shop at a very early age. I believe I have a photograph of him toiling away. I'll show that to you right after I'm done ranting at you like a crazy man. You know what I'm saying? He started a shop a couple blocks away. He was focusing more on like designs that his grandfather did. Like, you know what I mean? The flamenco guitars and the early stuff. And Miguel and Bart focused on more like, they started getting like nicer things and started like higher class things. But we have one of the last Francisco Casanovas branded instruments, I believe, because I believe they broke away. They had M&B Casanovas on their label after Ignacio came out in 1892, opened his shop just so they could distinguish who was who. And then Francisco Casanovas label disappeared forever. So I think we might have the last Francisco Casanova flamenco guitar, which was this big flagship other than those 10-string guitars. And I'm so excited. I'm waiting for it to come. Really, really excited, folks. I'm going to flip you around. We're going to go to the Learning Laboratory. I want to get you educated out. So I will show you some pictures because I've been talking about my lucky find, and I want to show you my lucky find. And then when it comes in the fucking mail, I'm going to show it to you again. And then I'm going to work on it for a long time. Probably a long episode. I'm looking at the clock right now. I already wasted 6 minutes and 53 seconds. So sorry about that. Peace be with you. I'll see you in a second. So welcome to the Learning Laboratory. I'm going to get you all learned up so you're not ignorant going into this project. Let's take a look at a couple auction pictures of the instrument so we get familiar with the familiarization. Right. This is it, man. You see, it's all there. It's all original, man. There's nothing really missing other than possibly the nut. And these look like they might be replacement tuning pegs because I have a set that I recently bought almost the same off AliExpress. So I don't know, man. Anyway, let's take a better look at this guy. It's got the original Francisco Casasnovas label. Looks like it's 1891, possibly 1896, but I don't think there was any Francisco branded instruments after 1891. This is the last of the last batches, man. Before Miguel and Bart turned it over to like, B&M on the label, M&B. And Ignacio popped up in 92. So that's when sort of the Casanovas split up, man. Some, cracks running up the Rosewood crack. It's all messed up. Did you say messed up? Hey, man, I need to know if it's crack or mess. I gotta make my plans for tomorrow, man. I gotta know what time I'll be up, right? So, more cracks, man. Crack, man. You're talking my language. Look what I'm hearing. All kinds of mess going on around here, man. And then we see this crack right here. Look at that. There's no saddle on this bridge, man. No saddle whatsoever. It's old school, you know what I'm saying? Like ancient stylings for a stringed instrument like this. See, we lost a little bit of finish around here, though, man. You see that, man? No big deal, man. We can make it look nice for the people. Just want to show you, man, what we're up against. No sign of any kind of end pin, strap button, nothing like that. But we got all kinds of crack going here, man. See this crack up here, right? And this crack on this side, and there's some separation here, man. We got all kinds of shit going on. It's not pleasant. But we have to know about it so we can plan about our holiday, man. See this side, we got a little slighter clack. A crack, man. This guy rounds off at, 34 inches, something like that. Pretty nice, man. So let's talk about the ancestors, man. Where did this come from? The grandparents. This is an 1853 model flamenco from the original Francisco Casasnovas himself. Now we can see a lot of these early instruments have had that saddle-free bridge replaced with a modern bridge. People just didn't dig it, man. Back in those days, in the early 1800s, they liked the action a little bit higher. Intonation wasn't that big of a deal, you know what I mean? Because they're pretty much, cowboy chord types for the most part. And, they were just like, live their lives in a simple way. But a lot of these original bridges either popped off or just were replaced because they were not accurate. So we see a lot of modern bridges. A lot of modern bridges on these instruments, man. Which is bad for this guy that owns this, but it's not me, so I don't give a fuck. Mine's original, so. You know what I mean? That's what we say in the click language. That's the clock language. So we see in the same model that we just showed you, the original, it's got a very similar peg head to ours. Everything looks very, very similar other than that replaced bridge piece. We have here a 10-string instrument, again, for his, colonial fucking friends. We see here, this is a very fancy model from the 1850s, and it's got a mustache bridge. Now let's look at the back of it. I don't know what instrument this is right here. No idea. But we see that on all of his backs, that back wood comes over this little, you know what I mean? This little ice cream cone bottom, man. That's his hallmark, man. I've got a couple old guitars from the 1800s. Have that same kind of aspect, man. Here's a good look at that saddle-free mustache bridge. You know what I'm saying? You can see that the same principle, man. Here's a different model right here. Another, 10-string guitar. This actually looks like this model here might have actually been a 9-string guitar, right? But anyway, it's the same idea as a 12 strings, a 6-course guitar. This would be like a 5-course guitar. You know what I mean? 5 courses of 2 strings. Here's the original old school Franco label, man. Francisco's label, the first one. This is before the dates from the 40s, 1850s. The one that he used. You know what I'm saying? It's his original. Ours is very similar to that, but it's a little bit more advanced, man. But this is the label in that one. Some of the early ones didn't even have labels, man. You see he's got like some kind of like, he had these pick guards in the 1850s that kind of look like, you can't really see it here. It's like a little, you know what I mean? Like a dancing couple, you know? Pocahontas, man, dancing out with the Indians in the woods, man. What the fuck's going on here? But this model is also very similar to the other one. Very, very similar. It's got a little fancier, headstock. That's the same, medieval looking guitar. Right? Right. Right on, man. So here's a picture of the shop around about 1882, 1881, something like that. Right after the old man died in 1876. And we can see the two brothers took over. His brother 1, his brother 2. I don't know which one's Miguel. I don't know which one's Bart. No idea. Don't even give a fart. Right? But we can see all the instruments hanging up and see what they're working with. You can see a lot of them are those mustache bridges. That was, I guess, the thing toward the end of the 1850s. Most of them look like they're sporting it. Although some of these look like they might be bridges like ours in the back. You know what I'm saying? They mostly look like, at that point, that was their big deal. But that's it, man. That's their little workshop. The brothers took over. Even though they couldn't play an instrument other than tune it. They were running the shop, man. Here's a guitar from 1883. Also has a replaced bridge. Looking good. This guy, I'd say, much more glam than the original models. And starting to get a little nicer, you know what I mean? Nicer woods. But still got that big baseball bat neck, right? It's got the regular tuners, which are definitely replacements. And this is where we see 1883, right? The dates start coming on to them. It still says Francisco Casasnovas, though. I don't see anything as Eagle. I've never seen a label. But once they took over, they started making things a little bit nicer for the people, a little bit better appointments. And then they had that guitar in Barcelona that was like, detachable neck, behind the times, front of the times, man. In 1892, Ignacio, the grandson, this is their sister, the son of the sister, he came out with his fucking guitars right here. And here's a early model. It's got the same bridge that we do, man. Got the same old bridge that we do. And this is the same headstock. Looks almost like our instrument. Ignacio, his whole deal was to make instruments more along the lines of what his grandfather made. You know what I mean? And Bart and Miguel made instruments that were more modern. And he was working on, these antique sort of same models that his grandfather was known for. So yeah, we have that piece of wood covering the bottom of the the heel. Here's that early Ignacio label, I.M. Casasnovas. He was on San Miguel 77. He wasn't in Plaza Merced, one Plaza Merced. He was at a different location. And see, this is the first year, 1892. It's 400th anniversary of Columbus. Talk about discovery around the globe, Hispanic, provinces. That's the original Holyfield, man, right there. So that's his first label, and we look again at his bridge, saying totally no saddle. Saddle is bridge, just like ours, man. Exact same deal, man. Well, it looks like ours is put on backwards, man. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that weird? It's just like put on the wrong way. I don't know. Not too sure. We're going to have to study it, take a look. I wouldn't think that it would be installed this way, though. Let me go back there. You know what I'm saying? I would think that, you would have the knots back here. This might be on backwards, man. I don't know, man. We'll have to study it when we get it. So, what happened after the fact, man? Well, this is 1897. Miguel and Bart model. You see, they're keeping getting finer and finer toward the end of their run. They stopped around in 1900, 1901, something like that. And they have a pin bridge, which looks as original as the instrument. They got a nice fancy rosette. You know what I'm saying? They were like, top notch. They got a nice regular old headstock, modern times, man. You know what I mean? They're still rocking the same kind of ideas and principles, but this one's got binding going through there, so it's a little bit different, man. There's the label for this instrument, 1897. Right, Miguel and Bart, B Casasnovas. They're the original one Plaza of Merced. Mercy Plaza, man. Here's a model from 1913 toward the end of Ignacio's run. He's all coming along with the times, unless this has been replaced. Looks like he still has the headstock, in the back. It's a little bit less pronounced, But it looks like he's got the baseball bat neck still, and he's still got the tuners and the peg head. You know what I'm saying? Everything looks all pegged out, man. So here we go, man. Let's wait for the box to come and get it open, man. We'll solve all the rest of our questions together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So the Casasnovas package has arrived. 2 days FedEx from Ohio. Looks like it's okay. Looks like it got banged up a little bit though in the traditional FedEx way. Here looks like it got a crunch. I'm telling you, man, you gotta watch FedEx. They'll bang that shit around. And it was dropped off at a Walgreens too, so I mean it's like extra fucking bonehead fucking contact. Those Walgreens people making minimum wage, aren't gonna really give 2 fucks about your FedEx package. They're not being paid by FedEx, they're being paid by fucking Walgreens. They give 2 halves of a shit about your fucking package. Not for nothing. They don't sue me, Walgreens. That's defamation, man, of our Walgreens team. So go to any Walgreens at like 11 o'clock at night. See all the winners working there, man. You'll know what I'm talking about. Usually I like to crack through the bottoms of these fucking things. That bottom wasn't looking like it was gonna. It's like fucking serious tape, man. I want to cut myself. Millions of different uses on this box, I'll tell you. getting closer, man. U5, man. That's the new band from U2. Pleasant Irishman. You know, not egocentric. Look at that. This is a different type of tape. That is a regular tape. Too close to the cuff here. There it is. I see her. Smell her too. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's in pretty good shape too. Let's clear all this shit out of here and I'll give you a better show. Hey man, you got me pinned all wrong. Pinhead. Wow. Just like I suspected, totally original, all original. Only missing the nut. 91, right? Beautiful condition. It's got cleating on the sides. That's kind of rare. Flamenco guitar, beautiful. Some cracks to be filled in everywhere. Right there's one, right? Don't know if these tuner keys are original. Need to make a new nut. I actually bought a set of these off AliExpress not too long ago. And they're exactly the same. Made in China now. Totally original. Early 1800s construction. You know what I'm saying? It's like an old school model. Certainly, you know what I'm saying, one of the Francisco Casasnovas models, man. One of the original ones. This bridge, it's got no nut. It's got no, you know what I'm saying? Slotted, you know what I'm saying, piece in there. It just hangs loose like that guitar I have from like the late 1700s. No end pin at any time. It's got some cracks. Some of them have been like premortally sort of 100 years ago tried to glue it together, which was not very successful. We're going to have to re-break that and clean up that glue. But really not too much work to do. You know, shape it up. This looks like it's been in an attic. It's like more of a heat thing. Wood shrinks under heat. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on here. But it's totally all there. Just needs to be sort of pushed together and glued together and fiddle-diddled upon. And it looks like we can probably get this guy back to its, you know what I'm saying, like glorious moments by the end of this episode. Can you fathom that? I'll see you in the laboratory. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the laboratory. Right? Right? You listen to me? Jerk off? So here we be, man. Now, I let it set for a couple weeks down here. Just because it was so dry. The wood was just so brittle. And I wanted to get it, you know, humidized, moisturized, right? We wanted to get it, you know what I mean, a little bit more limber because it was going to break. We have a lot of cracks around these side walls. Most of them are very, very extensive. And our brute force manhandling way of fixing things might split this guy right down the fucking center. You know what I'm saying?
And that's not something we want to do to our friend here from Majorca, right? Hey, he's still in there, man. We can't fuck with him. We got a lot of problems, though, man. We got a lot of, like, things to fucking tend with. We took out the pegs because we don't want to, lose them or have it fall out and destroy it. Because they look like they're probably the original pegs. We'll get to that later. Now, I'm thinking the first thing that I should probably do on this old girl, because we want to start fixing the sidewalls. Looks like about 75 years ago, somebody pasted this shit together because it was like, the back was coming off. But unfortunately, it wasn't a very good job. See that? We got all kinds of meat jingling off here, and it's a pretty, it's solid after all these fucking years. So we got it carefully and gingerly without, destroying the Grand Canyon over there, man. The Grand Canyon. We want to work a little X-Acto knife in here and get this open again without destroying anything very carefully. So we're going to want to do that as our first method of operation, man. Another observation that I've made about this, hey, man, was it on backwards? Is it on forwards? Well, yeah, it's probably on backwards. But I'm having a feeling that it was always that way. It might have just been put on backwards. The intonation point is actually right here. So if it was the other way around, it'd be perfect. We're only talking like a quarter of an inch, something like that. Probably intonate. Reason being, and I'm saying that, man, is we can see the wear pattern here. You know what I'm saying? It's been this way for a long time. Looks like it was that way since the guitar was manufactured. Possibly, we can see some glue here. We've reattached this bridge, but I don't think that they would reattach it the wrong way. Although I've done it before. Trust me. You know what I mean? It was just the way that, We're going to leave it like this until we string it up. If we need to take it off, we can do it then. We can just, worry about that then. We're just going to leave it as is for now. We're going to see where it intonates. Right? Intonation is everything, Charles. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to open up that canyon again. Get that crack flowing. Right? Let me see your crack, Mabel. Right? So that took relatively much longer than I thought it would. But we got it. The problem really that we had and we faced, that glue was very, very strong. And it pulled up the bottom of these cleats. And it made it impossible to sort of put this down and line up correctly. It's without any gap, because there was so much glue on those cleats, behind where it should have been. So it was puffed up. There was a big gap. So it was ugly. So we had to take all kinds of scrapers and wood carving kit pieces, and the best real thing that worked out on this deal here was straight up razor blade box cutter, man. It really pulled through all that glue. So we got that open now, so we can move the wood around. We wanted to do that first so we can get this thing exactly where it will have to be without having to, mitigate this, misglued piece. So now we can glue this together properly and won't have to worry about it being all jacked up when we glue this part. Might not make sense to you, but it makes perfect sense to me, which is the main thing. So what we're going to do now is this is the worst of the lot, man. We're going to glue this guy totally, perfect. We'll round robin it, crack by crack. We're not going to try to glue together 2 or 3 cracks at once, which, in my old ambitious day, I tried to glue this whole fucking thing together, or one shot. And tomorrow I'll be playing it, with my little fucking hat on, thinking I'm a fucking caveman. So, I don't know what that even means. Let's get that clamped out. Right? I'll see you at that front. See you later, cracky. There we go. We got that crack all straightened out, man. You got to pump a lot of glue in it, and then you got to pump a lot of glue in it again, right? Let's let that set, right? And after it's set, we'll pump more glue in it. I'll see you when it's time to unclarm.
All right, so we took off the big clamp so we can get some glue in there in the middle there. It's been set for over 24 hours. Let's take these other clamps off. You know, the weird thing is, every time I start working on this guitar again, I get sick. Even when I first bought this guitar, within like 25 minutes of me pressing purchase on eBay, I got sick, man. Out of nowhere. I hadn't messed with the guitar in a while. In 24 hours, I'm sick again, man. It's cursed. Let's unclamp it and keep working. Yeah, that's good, man. It's flat, you know, that's the good part, man. It's as flat as it comes. So now we gotta work on this guy. Now this guy, he's messed up. And the reason he's worse, in a way, is that he's not really as flexible as the other guy. For some reason, it's just I can't get this guy to move that much. You know, I don't want to overdo it, but you know, I might crack more. So I'm gonna try to press this in and press that out. Some way like double clamp action. Then clamp in the middle. Let's see if we can do it. Do it. There it is, man. That was like really fucking hard to get the angle right. We got a brace going around the back, holding one part, and around the front, down the middle there. So this is the kind of thing we got to be real careful. See that cable coming from that little lamp up there, man? It's a bad idea, bro. Should knock that thing and fucking thing will tumble right on the floor. You know, stupid things, man. Stupid moves. I'll see you when this is all cured out. If it survives, man. If it survives. Alright, so we made it to see another day without crashing on the floor. Humpty Dumptying ourselves into infinity. Looks good, though, man. Looks nice and straight. Now, you can notice, if you can, there's another crack, like right here. You see that crack? It's pretty big, too. Just like there was another crack on this side, too. And we're just going to let that set because, you know, in order to treat that crack, we're going to have to, you know, push the guitar in the opposite direction that we're pushing it right now. And this is just like freshly glued, so we're going to let that settle. We're going to move on to this guy because he's longer and he's probably a little bit more, you know, dangerous to the guitar's structure at this point. So it doesn't look like we have to push very much, just a little bit on this side. Looks like that's it. So let's get this unclamped and reclamped, and I'll see you at that front. And another precarious angle to sort of hit. But we got it. We got it straightened out. Charles, let's let it cert. Okay, so that's an near enough for skiffle. Let's unclamp it, right? Flip it around. And round robin the little guys starting here and going around. You know, all the little guys, the little guys, the little guys, the little guys. So we treated most of these cracks, some of them multiple times. We're just going to let it set and dry for a while, right? And when that's done, we're going to work on this thing here, this wonderful William here, right? Sticking right out into the fucking breeze, man. Right? Ugly. So after this dries, we'll fuck with that. Ready? Alright, so that side wall is dry. Push that little nub down with a bunch of glue. Right, clamped it. So let's wait to see what happens on that one to figure out what we'll do next. Right? Right. Yes. See that? It's about as good as we can get it, right? Without sanding it down and everything. So now we're going to worry about this right here. This is a product of this right here, this big mess, right? Now, we're probably not going to mess with this because this has been repaired 110 years ago, something like that. I mean, it was repaired a long time ago. They've even added wood that was lost. You know, this is a new piece of wood from 1,000 years ago. And, I mean, to get rid of this and to try to redo this, it's going to, I mean, you can see all these scrape marks in there. Obviously, something happened here. So it doesn't make any sense to try to, you know what I mean, fix this. It's still stable. I mean, it's a stable job, so, I mean, I'm not going to mess with it. But this part, we're just going to, you know what I mean, get some glue in there, because it is sort of a little messed up, right? Just a little bit messed up. Especially over here, you can see. Let's get some glue in there, maybe a little clamp. See if that part. And there it is, right?
It's like the final side wall problem. Let's let that set. Right, and then we'll move on to more luscious pastures. Right? Pasteurization. There it is, man. Pretty much done with that side wall, man. Solid, man. Solid general. So, what's the next thing we got to take care of? Well, this ugly thing now. It had all this horrible epoxy all over it, as you remember. I don't know, from a million years ago. Could have been from 10 years ago. Who knows, you know what I mean? We use a scraper to scrape it off. You know what I'm saying? It's the basic old plastic scraper, fingernails. You know what I'm saying? A little tiny bit of a razor blade. But not too much, man. We didn't go ape shit crazy. We just wanted to get most of it off. Now we're going to apply a whole bunch of glue to the crack. And we're going to have to get in here with a paintbrush and glue every one of these cleats and the brace and everything in there. Right? And we're going to just cover that thing up. Get it all lined up. Set it this way. Take these thick rubber bands. Maybe 7 or 8 of them around this area. And it'll be totally lined up correctly, man. And I'll see at that point, it's got to be sitting this way. So the glue, you know what I mean, on those cleats and the brace, everything's got to do, you know, clockwork. Clockwork, clockwise. I'll see you that in Clockworth. And there it is, man. Holy rubber bands, Batman. Look at that. Well, it looks like it's a pretty good job. We'll get kit. Looks like we're pretty even there, Charles. Huh? There's a big bulge, so we got that one clamp. And this clamp is pretty much keeping the waist even. Even, Steven. And all that glue. You see that, man? See how much experience I should feel it. See that, man? It's all where it should be, right in that corner. Right under that area. It's not dripping all over the place like a scoundrel did it. It's where it should be. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it drying out for a little while, William. Right? And once it's done, we'll reconvene. We'll open it up so it can be seen. Peace be ween. Yeah, so it's the next day. And the thing with the rubber band dill is that it really, really sort of has a very short shelf life with like pressure, force pounds, whatever they call that shit, you know what I'm saying? After a couple hours, it starts to weaken considerably because the, you know, rubber starts to, you know, relax and, you know what I'm saying? They basically just getting stretched out, right? So let's, you know, wrap it. I mean, there's 2 ways to do it. You just cut these motherfuckers off the easy way. You can, like, slowly try to remove them because they will, the rubber band will go back to normal. And I mean, yeah, probably use them again. I've probably used these before. So let's unband it, man, and take a look at our purrs. Right? It looks all dry and sad, man. We all checked it out, man. We were all happy about it. I was very happy about it, man. It made me happy, man. So let's get this guy unfurled. There it is, man. Lined up well. Doesn't look the best, but it's a little bit rough. You know, still, we're going to come back to that later for more cosmetic trips, but it is lined up, which is good, man. It's down. So now we have a couple more structural things in order to make it whole. This thing is kind of sunken in. Basically, the top has shrunken up a little bit. And the binding is still where it was originally. So there's some issues here with the shrunken top and regular size binding. But we want to push this in a little bit because it is a little bit sort of, has a little give to it. So let's pump some glue in here. We're going to put a little spacer inside the guitar, actually, to sort of try to push this up a little bit. Just do this corner here. Just pump some glue in there. Right? And push it in with some clamps. See if we can get it all friendly like. Right, friends? Right. Alright, so we're about to put the clamps on it to close up the space here in the corner here, the little gap. Put some glue in there first. Just want to show you the support. See that? We're pushing that up in there. Pushing it up, right? So let's put the other clamps on. I'll see it. That part. There we go, man. All clamped out, man. Clamptown races, sing this song, do that day. All closed up again, man. We'll let this set. Right? I'll bet when we let it set, you know what I'm saying, it'll look a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I bet. See you on the morrow. Alright, so we've been all clamped out for a good 15 hours or so. Let's unclamp her and see what it looks like. Looks like it fared well. Like there might have been a little bit of, you know, separation again after the fact. But a good thing, it looks like this lines up a lot better. This crack was originally like a step. It kind of looks like it's sort of going back to where it's gone. And these two cracks right here are very old cracks that have been repaired. Actually, if you look behind it, you can see that there's like denim. I'll unclamp this guy and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so these two cracks are very old cracks. And they have been repaired. Not really professionally, but semi-competently. Let's just put it that way. If you look underneath the fucking hood, you can see like a little slotted denim over both of those on the bottom. So there was some kind of like intelligent, you know what I mean, thought going into these repairs a million years ago. Really, 100 years ago, right? So, I mean, they're pretty solid repairs, you know what I mean? Hard to bend, you know what I mean? And there was this little step there that's kind of not that prevalent anymore. So let's see what happens when we put some glue in this sort of deficit and just clamp it up a little bit. You know, I mean, it's real sturdy and hard now, but let's just see what happens. That's the last thing that we'd have to clamp. We're going to move that little pillar over this side now. That pillar that was inside there. Ready, set, and clamp. And there it is. Simple setting, right? Simple setting. Let's let it set. Simply. See you then. This is definitely dry, man. Let's unclamp it and figure out what's next. Right? Alright, so I let it set pretty much for a week. And the tops, you know what I mean, really become more flat. Everything's sort of gone back to where it should be. It's pretty cool to see the guitar like looking as it should, instead of being all cracked up and mismatched. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to build up some of this one little thing, a little hump here. And that's like sort of glued in the wrong way from behind. And this is a little wonky over here. So we're going to take a, you know, magic erase sponge and we're going to work some water in here. Some water in here. And we're also going to try to clean up this real old glue. I remember it was very water soluble when we were doing the, you know, glue with that huge crack. We're going to get to him real soon, right? So let's just, you know, with water, try to get this, you know what I mean, sort of, looks like some kind of that old glue. It's just ugly, man, you know what I mean? There's lots of, like, residue. We just want to sort of just lighten up the fucking burden, you know what I'm saying? Lay down, burden. Plus the water, we'll let it set. The water will sort of, you know what I mean, make it like expand out the wood. That's where we're sort of missing a couple little deficits in here. You know what I'm saying? Little deficits in places, man. So the water will help us, right? I'll see when we're all cleaned up. Alright, we got all that shit off, man. All that shit's off, and especially over here where we resealed it up. Nice and clean now. Look at that. And all those little sort of, you know what I mean, holes that we had sort of from missing little tiny pieces of wood. It's good all the way around, man. All got filled in by that scum that we got off. Lots of these, man. We went through quite a few pieces of magic erase sponges. A little bit of, you know what I mean, both with and without oil. Tiny bit of, I think there's like 3,000 is a real high grit. All right, so. And these guys are nice and clean. That's good. We're going to let it set and cool out for a little while. You know what I mean? Let the water sort of expand in there. A couple days, man. In the meantime, we got this little gash here, man. Extends two frets in, man. Got a little bit of this guy right here. Man, some rosewood powder, man. $15 a sniff, man. This is good stuff. Look at this, man. A little bit of a super glue, man. It's so super. It's glued out, man. And then we got this little wick, man. William Corn Wick, right? We're going to wick in some of that glue. Like Wicks, Paul Wickens, right? Paul McCartney's right hand, left man. Right? Just dust this guy on there. Hey, man. Now you're talking my language. Got a piece of underpants in there to protect that label. Don't want the label to get messed up there, Neil, right? Looking good, man. Looking good. So I'll see you after we've been dusted, man. Where's Dustin? Hey, man, I'm all wicked out, man. Don't photograph me. Hey, man. We're going to leave it there for about an hour, man. For about an hour. Let it dry fully. Then we're going to dump all the excess back into the little sleeve. Put it away. Put that guy away when he's all dripped back out. And I'll see you at that front. And we'll take a look at her. Right? We'll pull out this old rag. And then we'll move on with our times. There it is, man. It's a little stain. We let it set for about 2-3 hours. And we just dumped it out. And we are able to recover most of the loose rosewood powder, which is a good thing. So let's let it set another hour or so. Because it's already hard, but I want to get real hard. Then we'll scrape it with a razor, right? And then we'll sand it down. And I'll see you at that front. My fernet friends. There it is, man. Can't even see it. It's like it never existed. We use a razor blade to scrape it off. Right? And we use a little bit of low grit sandpaper. A little bit of steel wool. And then we put some steel wool with oil in it. A little bit of oil. Mineral oil to be exact. Okay? Looking good. So we're going to let it set for, I don't know, a day. One more day. Right? And then after that, it's done set. We're going to just put some more glue in all the cracks one more time. And just let it set, right? Just let it set. So that's when we'll join up again. We're going to pull this guy out. We don't want him sitting around upside down over the trash. You know what I mean? Get all the rest of the shit out of there. Looking great, looking great. So I'll see you in about 2 days after we've glued this guy up again, man. Stuffed him with glue in it every, you know what I mean? All these little orifices on the sides and stuff one more time because it's already dried the first round, like seriously. Then we'll put the second round, in there to like sort of supplement it. I'll see you at that part. There it is, man. We let it set for a week, so all the glue in it and everywhere was totally dry. And last night we just glued the shit out of it. Every crack, every crevice, you know what I mean? We just so much glue in there. We got the suction cup out. Have it leaning against the wall with a piece of wax paper Williams. So it didn't do any damage. And every single crevice and crack that we either repaired or didn't even have to repair, but looked cracked like, we pumped a bunch of glue into it, man. So we just wanted to get on top of that old glue that was already on there and form a new glue shield, you know what I mean? Because sometimes if you keep hitting up glue, it doesn't always dry all the way, but after a week or so, like, it cures. You know what I'm saying? Then we put some new stuff on it, so it's like doubly perfected. I don't know, maybe not. Anyway, there are 2 sets of repairs that we're not going to really fuck with on this instrument. What? These 2, of course, we did a little bit of, work on them, so it's a little bit flatter. But, I mean, there's a little tiny, tiny deficit right here. And likewise right in this little corner. But, I mean, it's not like, you can't really tell. But in order to get that 150% perfect, we'd have to take the back off because there's extensive repair work. As you can see, over there. And over there in that corner, right? See it? I want you to see it. I want you to experience it, man. So we'd have to take the back off so we can peel that, whatever back. Obviously, the back's been off before if that's been applied because there's serious damage here, which we do. This is the second set of repairs that we didn't fuck with. These are like 100-year-old repairs at least. So, I mean, in order to do that, again, we'd have to take the back off. We'd have to refinish all this, which is the original finish. You know what I'm saying? I want this to be as much, original as possible. So I'm fucking, this repair, it's solid. We put more glue into it. And just last night, lots more glue into it. So, I mean, it's not going anywhere. See, they even fabricated a little piece of wood that was lost there. You know, so it's kind of historic to me. So it doesn't really matter that much. We might hit that up with a little bit of shellac, as well as this corner here. Whoop. This is kind of bothers me. This shellac gloss, man. It just does, man. It kind of sticks out. There's a little bit here too and here, but I mean that's not as prevalent as this, man. Now in January we had an episode about a guitar made about the same exact time as this guitar in Boston, right? And we made up this shellac, and it was almost the same color as this instrument. This is like the natural, you know what I'm saying, original finish. So I was like, maybe I'll just put a little tiny bit of this in the corner here with a needle brush and not get any of the water outside the pool. You know what I'm saying? We're going to stay within this line. Just, you know what I mean? Clean up the party for the people. This has definitely gotten a little bit more condensed as the shellac is sort of a little bit more, you know, concentrated because the alcohol is evaporated. Still got our 100% in the drawer in the corner, you know what I mean? Covered up with a piece of tinfoil, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's still like 96.9347%. Maybe even higher, man. Hey, man, I want 100% count, bro. So we're going to take a little bit of that alcohol first off, and we're going to clean this off real carefully because there might be some glue on there. Put a little tiny bit in here to get a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more, less concentrated, diluted. And then we're going to fill this up very carefully. This paint it up a little bit carefully. Very carefully with a very thin brush. Right? I'll see you at that point. There we go, man. You know what I'm saying? It's looking a little rough now because we just finished. Right? We piled it in with this guy, right? Family size again. Let it set. Let it dry completely. All right? Then we'll smooth it up a little bit with some steel William, right? Steel wool over there, quadruple grade. And I'll see you at that point, right? And there it is, man. Look at the rim, too. I mean, just look at the rim. And you can see that the shellac is like continuous on it. You know what I'm saying? Looks great. Especially if you're over here, you don't see anything. But if you look close, it kind of looks like it was scratched or something in that corner. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like it had been missing it, you know. And right here is even less, you know what I mean? Apparent. Quick shellac runs, really. And I mean, even this corner is like the shellac blend into the original shellac that was like right here. It's like perfect. It's perfect. I mean, there's like a little dent in there. And I mean, it's still like, it looks great, man. I was like sucking my own ass fiber. So now, we're going to turn our attention to these frets. So let's get a little bit of light on them. Ooh, look how dirty that is. So, we'll just rub a little bit of a block over this motherfucker until it's totally straight. And each one has a little shine going to it. Right, and then we'll give it a little bit of shape. I'll see you after we shine them up with that print. I could tell these are the original originals, man. So I like that. Working with fret numero uno, you know what I'm saying? So I'll let you give a gander now, and then you give a master gander in a minute. And that minute is one. Alright, so there was a lot of fret wear. We still didn't get all the little chunks out, but we don't want to go too low on these. The ones up front here. So let's go dump this out. You know what I'm saying? Dump it out into the trash can carefully. And then we got this little hex fret file off of AliExpress. Let's see if we can use that. It looks a little bit less like it's something, you know what I mean? It's not going to slip. You know what I'm saying? It's like the other fret file I have, always like, you know what I mean? It's prone to kind of slip off and scratch the rosewood. This looks a little bit more, I don't know, it might be a piece of shit. And I might, you know, come back to you and say, oh, I use the regular one. Right? Let's see how it works. Fucking piece of garbage. I just started, man. It's just already scratching it up, man. I didn't even fucking move it off the fret. What a piece of fucking garbage. That's $7.36 down the drain. I'll never see that again. Bullshit, man. Back to the regs. So we finish it off the traditional way. Looks good. You know what I'm saying? Looks great. It's kind of upsetting. You know what I mean? I couldn't even get that line out, man. I sanded it. I fucked with it, but oil will darken that up. Let's go wipe this off and then we'll continue with our process. And there it is, man. It looks fantastical. Some kind of fantastical thing. Right? So normally at this point, what I would do is I take some mineral oil and I take a piece of steel wool and I clean the fretboard and I polish the fret and I clean the fretboard and polish the fret and I'd go all the way up and we'll go grease it up, right? We grease up the fretboard. And this is very, 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 very dirty. In fact, the whole guitar is still really dirty. We haven't really cleaned it at all. So let's just hold off on not cleaning it for right now. Because we want to get all the, you know what I mean, cosmetic stuff up to par. And we have not shellacked the back. We've got to shellac the back because it looked kind of whack, right? So let's take some, I think probably at this point, we'll take some weak alcohol, like some 68% alcohol, and just sort of clean up these areas. Because there's a lot of glue around here. There's something here. Old repair, man. Old repair. I don't like it none. So we're going to put a little shellac on them, too. Let's get them all cleared, and then I'll see you right before we shellac. My shellacking friend. Alright, so we cleaned it off, right? We used this, which is almost done. It's old, so it's definitely, you know, got more water in it than it should. So we see that all the shellac around is real shiny right now. That's because alcohol like reactivates the shellac. It's like the National Guard. These motherfuckers getting their guns on, man. They're ready for battle. You know what I'm saying? The shellac is heated up now, which is good. So we have our little fucking friend there. I'm going to actually apply it with this. This is from like Ulta, or Uta, whatever the fuck that's called. Hey, man, I got 2 daughters of teenagers. And my wife's like an eternal teenager like fucking Dick Clark, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm always staying around there. I took that because it's good to like use to apply shellac when you want to do runs, man. Hey, I got the runs, bro. There's too many shrooms, man. Now I got the runs. So let's just clean it up. It's really, really, especially here. What the fuck is that? I tried to rough it up, my friend. You know what I'm saying? He's some kind of sea captain, you know what I mean, in my mind. Previous owner of this guitar. Like I'm doing like guitar whispering, you know what I mean? I can feel you, my friend. I can feel your fingers dancing on the board. Let's shellac it, man. You get it shellac good. 1, 2, 3. And there it is, man. Look. Looks great. You know what I'm saying? It looks like almost perfect. Lots of shellac on there, man. You know what I'm saying? We used quite a bit. So we can just cut that tip off and use this guy again. Let's do it before it absorbs more. Right? So, let's let it set. You know what I'm saying? And then it's very, very dirty still. We'll attend to it, you know what I mean? It's needs, but we want this to dry for a couple hours. So I'll see you at that part. Alright, so it's been a couple hours. It's all dry, man. Right? This thing is filthy dirty, though. Filthy, disgusting dirty. From head to toe, man. Stem to stern. Got some old furniture polish. This is 33.7% kielbasa grease. It's directly from Warsaw, from Poland, man. Where all the Poles live. Let's get this guy nice and clean. Right? Cleanliness. Look at that. See that? Messy. Even back then they liked messy. Before he was even born, man. Let's get it all cleaned up, man. Clean Tilbrook. Nice and shiny. Right, nice and shiny. Right? We're looking like we should. We're starting to look great. Right? We're starting to look just grand. Just grandiferent. So there's a lot of dirt and scum in here, and these haven't really been polished even yet, you know what I'm saying? We got some mineral Earl right here, right? Some steel cool. Let's work these guys up. Work the whole thing, clean everything up, man. We want to see it all cleansed, right? All greased up, man. Actually greased it up like 3 or 4 times. And I had to wipe it off because it's just so fucking dirty, man. Like 6 or 7 times, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so just crazy dirty. dirty, greasy. I mean, the first sort of pass, it looked like it was like tar on it. You know what I'm saying? It was like so much fucking dirt and scum coming out of there. Anyway, we went through a t-shirt, and now we're halfway through a paper towel. But let's let this set for about a half hour and wipe it down. I'll see after it's been sitting for a half hour. We'll see what it looks like, Charles. Make sure that label's still good in there, William. Don't get no damage on that guy. No Casanovas, no. It's been about half a whore. Let's wipe this shit off, man. Let's wipe it off and I'll see you at that point. Yes. So it still looks greasy even though we're ungreased, man. The frets are nice and sort of smooth now. Let's go a little bit further. This is a master instrument, so let's be masterful. Take a half of one of these bad boys and just go up and down the frets. You know what I'm saying? And get them so shiny and smooth, man. Out of sight, out of state, out of mind, right? Out of eye. That's what it looks like at the other end, folks. You know what I'm saying? Shiny, gleamy, man. Yes, looks great. Masterful instrument, man. Masterful instrument. So it's getting to that point, man. I've been sitting around for a little while. Seems to be done. Dunderson, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's take some Mom's Brazilian cleaner wax. Put it over everything except for this, man. We'll save that for last, right? Once everything else is covered with this, maybe 2 coats on the front, 2 coats on the back. Then we're going to put this guy on here. Right? And just there. That's it. Right? I'll see you when we're all glimmery, glamoury. Right, my friend? That's right, my friend. Hey. I told you about your fucking motherfucker. Look at this. Look at this, man. Like glimmery glass gleaming. The back. That's just unheard of, man. It's just undone, man. Never been done, man. It's got that deep gloss. You know what I'm saying? A deep, glitzy, glossy glare. You know what I'm saying? It's looking great. So let's talk about this old headstock, man. Because that's where the action is going to be happening. Because everything else is done, right? Other than that, if this doesn't work out, you know what I mean? Then we have a whole nother part where we got to flip it around. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this might still be a long episode to boot. So we have the pins, the original pins. Here they are all over here. I'm saying these are original pins. They have the Parisian eye. This is pattern lathe. In the last quarter of the 19th century, they had these pattern lathes. And they could make anything with a pattern. You know what I'm saying? First it was on steam lathes, and then it was like, you know, later it was on like electric ones they had toward the end. You know what I'm saying? You can still get these pieces on AliExpress. I mean, they make them in Europe still, the old-fashioned way, but look at these. This is like a viola. Parisian eye, man. Parisian eye, it's almost exactly identical. Only this is a CNC machine. You can tell because you look at the top. See how that's like fine, you know what I mean? Finite. But it's the same material, it's the same exact thing. Made a long time later. Dove Music, you can get the original ones from Europe, man. They still have them, man. So that's great. We're going to use these because they're original, and that's cool, man. How else do I know they're original? Well, here's some more of our resource, man. Hey, resource room, man. This is some more information. There's one. See what it has? What does it have? Yes, it has the Parisian eyes, just like ours, man. And this is original, man. You know what I'm saying? Parisian eyes. And here's one that's even older, man. That's from the old school, and it's got the Parisian eyes even back then, man. So they're all original, so we're good in the hood on that. That's a beautiful thing. I think that's beautiful to me. So other than this, man, we have something else that's missing from over here, man. No, man. Oh, no. Now, I wanted to get like a nice unbleached bone blank McGuire went, man. That's the brand, man. It's called McGuire. Chinese brand. Good stuff, man. So I got the cheapest one on AliExpress, and it came. I need a 50 millimeter nut, you know what I mean? And a blank, just in case. Came here, it's a 42, man. What? It says on the package, man. It says McGuire. You know what I'm saying? But it's the wrong one, man. It's not the correct one. It is unbleached. It's 42, though. It's not the 50. And plus, it's not a blank, man. It's bullshit, man. So I ordered directly from McGuire. See, this is the McGuire package, man. I think they're trying to say McGuire. You know what I'm saying? They're not like, you know what I'm saying? This is a fake, man. They're making fakes of themselves now. Isn't that crazy? But this is what I wanted, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I coveted. It's what I coveted. Right? I must say. Now, this was initially, I was like, well, I could have this. You know what I mean? And I could just put a little piece behind it. You know what I'm saying? And carve out the pieces. But, so what happens is this piece right here, you know what I'm saying, fits in there with a little bit of shaving. You know what I'm saying? And it's the right piece. It's the correct piece. It's the right length. You see that? Just got to get shaved up, man. So let's shave off the sides. Okay? We have the old, you know what I mean? This is like, we call it the non-rotating sander station. The stander station. We're going to grind that guy down on a little piece of block wood like that, like until it fits right in there, man. Right? Let's see if that burns. It fits so well inside there. I'm not even going to bother taking it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to leave it there. Because they're like in there like a glove. Where it should be, right? Exactly where it should be. So, we're going to take a little bit of glue. Right? Let's put it in there. Wipe it off, man. Put it in there. Wipe it off so it's stuck in there. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that and I'll let it set. And we'll see you later after it's dry. All right, so it's the next day. Glue is dried. It's in there nice and tight. Good job. So, what we have to do now is we have to sort of deepen the little grooves a bit. I mean, these grooves are like barely there. So we got to deepen them just a tiny bit, man. Just a smidgen. I have an arsenal of little tricks for this type of thing. This is a broken, saw blade. I use that for like the, you know what I mean, bass strings, and this is like, for like the mids, and this is for like the trebles, man. I know it's crazy, man, but it works, man. You know, hey, man, judge, motherfuckers, don't you ever judge me. Let's deepen them grooves out. I'll see you in a moment. There it is, man. Nice and deep. We're ready, man. So fucking girl's gonna be called back into commission, man. Called back into commission. Now's the time. Right? Now's the time. So we got our pegs ready. We're stringing up with nothing better, nothing finer, man. Light gauge. French strings, man. You can tell the French are fucking anti-Semiticals, right? One Jew. Right? You know they're saying it nasty. You're not saying it nice. But these are definitely the best strings to use on classical guitars. Right? I used to always put folk singers on them. Right or wrong, man. I never damaged any guitar. Let's see what it sounds like, man. I mean, we have one of two things going to happen after this scene, right? Either I'm going to be on the slab talking about the glamour shots, right? Or we're going to be back here. I'm going to be saying we got to take this guy off, or this guy would have fallen off. You know what I'm saying? One or the other is going to happen here. Either see it at the glamour shots or see it back here, and we're going to talk about that bridge. If not, we don't have to talk about that bridge. Ready? Oh no. Oh no, all that work. And there it is, man. Our final guitar project of the year, man. Right next to our first guitar project of the year. Both these instruments were made right around the same time, around 1891 roundabouts, right? Both of them are made to last, obviously, right? But this guitar from America, made in Boston, very heavy, extremely heavy instrument. This guitar, made in the middle of the Mediterranean, on Majorca, right? Very, very light, extremely lightweight instrument. Beautiful. And it's very loud. It's so much louder than that guitar. So much louder. Everything works as it should, man. Pins are still, you know what I mean, good enough, man. Nice strong rosewood. They barely have any wear on them. I mean, and we know that there's been a lot of playing on this guitar. Maybe they were replaced. Who knows, man? I don't know. But they're definitely period because of the way they're cut off at the top. All jagged and shit, man. That's definitely old as fuck, man. In Boston, we had tuners, right? This is great, though. This is a wonderful instrument. It's probably 10 times, more heart for this instrument than that instrument. All the original finishes here, the original fixtures, features, everything looks to be on the up and up. We had some antique repairs here and here. One on the side, one on the back for a big crack. You know what I mean? This is what it is. Most of those repairs have been preserved. It's been strengthened. It's ready for another 100 years of action, right? Another 100 years of action. So let's hear it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get down in Casanova style. You know what I'm saying? Last guitar project of the year. Right. Finds us in the middle of the Mediterranean. Let's hear it. And there it is, folks. Francisco Casasnovas. Not just Casanova meaning one house. Casanova meaning many houses, man. Many houses of casas, man. 1891. Gorgeous instrument, folks. It's a banger. Doesn't stay in tune yet, man. We're working on it, man. It's not that bad. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there, people. Once the friction pegs become like kind of small, and these are violin pegs to boot, it becomes like harder to get it right. So I might have to get those viola pegs or order new violin pegs. Keep the peace, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful instrument, man. Love it, man. I just love it. It's so light. It's so beautiful. Now, Majorca, Spain, is at the 40th degree of latitude, man. Now, the 40th latitude around that area is a beautiful swath between the beginning of Europe to the beginning of Asia Minor, man. All kinds of beautiful port cities and that. area. Italy and Greece are all sort of in the Mediterranean, within that region, man. I'm saying within like 5 degrees of 40 degrees. That whole little swath. Mediterranean Europe, man, is like paradise, man. And Europeans have always like sought solstice in that area as a respite, man. You know what I'm saying? Feel a little bit of relief from daily grind, you know what I mean? Get stuff out there, man. And Ringo Starr, the Beatles, man, when he was feeling that the Beatles didn't need his ass anymore, because he wasn't really that good, you know what I mean? Compared to like some of the people coming out of England at the time, right? He went there feeling all depressed, man, and it was a glass bottom yacht. Some millionaire, right? Hey, look, Ringo, we're going to watch the octopuses build a little garden down there. And Ringo's like, oh, fantastic. And he got all excited by it, seeing him move around all kinds of little rubbish down here, man. And he goes up to the top deck with his wife. And he's like, you go like this. And he's like beating on her back and stuff because he can't really play instruments. You know, he's just like tapping her back while she's like, You know, if you see Let It Be or Get Back, whatever it is, it's in both of them. Ringo comes in and he's like playing on the piano. And George is like, I have a good chord if you put in there. Ringo's like, I like to be under the sea. And George is like, put this chord in there. This is like, what? But, you know what I'm saying? I think McCartney walks in like, no. That sounds terrible. And they start playing it the right way. So, man, Sardinia, that's where Ringo saw. It's not too far off from Majorca. It's the same latitude, man. That whole beautiful latitude of Europe, man. You know what I'm saying? It's paradise, man. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. He'd let us in, knows where we've been, in an octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see an octopus's garden with me. Ringo, peace and love, man. Really, man. Really, man. To you, brother, man. The oldest living Beatle. I think Pete Best might be a little older. Piss you off, Rings. So there you go, man. The last guitar project. We still have some little treats for you, don't we? Little treats, man. I'll meet him on the 40th parallel. Blast those yellow reds to hell.